Restaurant Unstoppable. What the most successful restaurateurs know that you don't. So when you shared this vision, how did the energy change? Was there a change? Could you pick up on it?
Well, I think, between us, we call ourselves a support team, and that's like the executive, people who don't work in the restaurants, who we kind of like support all the restaurants. So our support team, it was kind of like, okay, now we have it defined and we know what we're going for. It was kind of like, okay, it is clear. And we all knew it in a way, like you could feel it, but I think defining it really goes such a long way, because now it's down there and it's on, and we also put a timestamp on it. We put our timestamp at 2025, which is in 4 years from now. So in 4 years from now, we'll sit down again and we'll redefine our vision and redefine our mission, and kind of like get that, and we're starting to also work on vocabulary. We want to all talk the same language.
Yes.
So we had
a conversation about that the last time I was with you.
Yeah, and it's important. And
yeah.
We had a vocab meeting yesterday where we're starting to kind of get all this language together. So at this store, at all our other stores, we're all talking the same language.
I want to get into that and why that's so important. But to wrap up this idea of vision, right? Vision will stoke hope.
For sure.
And like people need to know where you're taking them for them to have hope. And it's not enough to tell them during the orientation. You have to remind them what the vision is. This is where we're going. Like you're going to make it a part of your vocabulary, your language, right? Which kind of leads into the next thing is once you have this vision of where you're going, you can't just leave it there, right? Like you're going to forget where you're going, right? You got to constantly bring it back to the surface. So that kind of leads us into what you're talking about is language. So what's your strategy for using a language to reinforce vision?
So I guess once you kind of have everyone kind of speaking the same way, it kind of all aligns into that one vision, right? Like one of the phrases that I wanted to put in was the only easy day was yesterday. That's a Marine kind of thing, but we do pre-shift every day. So our managers, they gather everybody right before we start lunch, and then right before after shift change when we do dinner, they bring the team together. So like it's nice to start talking about things in a way that like kind of flow the same way. And I think like when everyone kind of sees like, oh, like this is hard work. Like I'm here to hustle. And like, today's not going to be easy because the only easy day was yesterday. So like it's hard work and you gotta hustle. And I feel like those little tidbits in the language help, the overall picture of the vision and the mission and where we're going.
Yeah, I can't tell if we have an audience or if they're reading the menu.
I think they're reading the menu. Come back and see us. All the language that you speak, how the leaders in the company and in the stores, our store leaders, how they talk to our team and the words that they say, it needs to align with the vision and the mission. And I think when we're all talking the same language and we're all using the same quotes, the same,
Was this inspired by Mario Del Piero? I'm just curious.
No, it's inspired kind of by Danny Meyer, actually, because he kind of took that, like, these little quotes that he would repeat over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And they start to get into people's minds.
Well, you look at, and this, I think we talked about this a little bit in our previous interviews, but it's worth bringing back to the conversation. When I interviewed Mario Del Piero, he said that every culture across the world, whether it's Italian, Russian, Chinese, Australian, South Africa, wherever you are, has its own language, right? And every business has a culture. And you have to think about that business having its own language. So it's like those little things like that help you identify. Ritual is the other big thing too.
Oh, sure.
So you can use language, which is like our words, right? Like every organization has their own set of words. And also the ritual, which is like repeating things, like things that happen the same time every day to reinforce the vision.